Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 30th, 2026, and Barcelona have officially launched their home kit right on schedule on June 30th, as I told you in a previous video. Also, Atletico Madrid have officially filed a complaint against Barcelona in regards to Julian Alvarez. And finally, Barcelona have confirmed another summer exit. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Bo, and what a World Cup are we living, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the round of 32. We have several countries now that have qualified to the round of 16. Of course, Canada beating South Africa, Brazil beating Japan. Then we had two surprises yesterday, one of them bigger than the other one. Of course, that one being Paraguay eliminating Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, Germany have not qualified to the round of 16 since they were champions in 2014. That's 12 years ago. Technically 16 years because they're going to have to wait another 4 years until they have another shot at qualifying in round of 16. What an upset. Of course, we lived those penalty shootouts right here on the channel. Yesterday's podcast, the penalty shootout happened during a podcast, so we all watched it together. And then later that night, Morocco eliminated Netherlands. Another European giant goes home. Now, this one I say is not as surprising because it's Morocco. Morocco have been doing really well. In fact, last World Cup, they ended up in 4th place. And I gotta say something, man. Morocco really surprised me yesterday. I thought we were gonna see a Morocco that was gonna defend a lot, park the bus and just count on those counter attacks with Netherlands, constantly attacking. But we saw kind of like the opposite. Not that Netherlands parked the bus, but Morocco were maintaining possession of the ball. They were attacking so much, creating so many chances that they had the Netherlands against the ropes. And what a game by Morocco. I was surprised it went to penalties. I feel like they had so many chances they could have definitely won in regular time. But hey, congratulations to Morocco, who are also through the next round. And then, of course, today, France completely overwhelming Sweden. My God, it looked like there was such disparity between both teams. It was crazy. It was crazy. The firepower that France has, and I said this previously on the channel, it should be illegal to have that much firepower. Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, Doué, Barcola. It's insane. It's insane. So far, the scariest team in the World Cup for me. I think the difference between France and the rest is just huge, man. France last World Cup, they technically only had Mbappe. Sure, they had Giroud, but it's not anything close to what they have now. Now, they did have Dembele back then, but of course, Dembele now in 2026 is a completely different Dembele from 2022. And on top of that, they've added, again, Olise, Barcola, and of course, Doué. France just looking absolutely scary. And then, of course, very sad for Ivory Coast, man. They went home. I thought they deserved to go through more than Norway. I felt like they played a lot better. In fact, when Norway scored that first goal, it was the 41st minute, something like that, the first half. Up to that point, Ivory Coast had completely dominated the first half. Norway's goal came at the best moments that Ivory Coast were having. But, when you have Haaland, he makes a huge difference. So sad to see Ivory Coast go, especially this early in the tournament. I think I would have loved to see them, play a few more rounds. But Norway is through as well. And now in a little bit, we do have one hell of a match. Mexico versus Ecuador. Man, I cannot wait to see that one. We have some pretty amazing matchups in the round of 32. But anyways, enough about the World Cup. Let's talk about Barcelona, because ladies and gentlemen, the club have officially launched their home kit. As I promised, I told you in a previous video that Barcelona were going to launch it on June 30th. And lo and behold, Barcelona have made the launch of their home kit official. This is what it's going to look like for the 2026-2027 season. You can now purchase the kit online. And if I'm not mistaken, starting tomorrow, it's when it's going to be available in stores. Now, I gotta say, this is the first time that the opposite has happened to me. Usually when we see the leaks, we're like, all right, that whatever. And then you see the real one and you're like, okay, that actually looks better than the leaks. This time I feel like it was backwards for me. I liked how the kit looked in the leaks better than what it actually looks like. Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that shade of blue. That's just not a blaugrana blue, man. And I know they're going, different shades from lighter to darker, but I feel like the blue is a lot more overpowering than the garnet, than the different shades of garnet or red. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe in the store it looked different and maybe it'll grow on me once I see it in person. But so far, not a big fan. But of course, all this is completely subjective. Let me know what you guys think about Barcelona's home kit. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not care? Let me know down below in the comments section. Now, Barcelona will most likely be wearing this kit during its preseason. And of course, speaking of the preseason, we do have another confirmation, and that is that Barcelona will be playing a friendly match against CE Europe, or CE Europa, I should say, in Spanish. If you don't know what CE Europa is, it's a local Catalan team. They play in 3rd division, and Barcelona have confirmed that they will be playing a friendly match against them on July 24th behind closed doors. So at the Ciudad Esportiva, they're going to play a friendly match. No crowds allowed. So take out your notebook and write these important dates down, because July 13th will be the first official day of the preseason. That's when the players will report to undergo medical exams. Of course, many of the first-team players will not be available due to the World Cup. On July 24th, Barcelona will play that friendly match against CE Europa behind closed doors. On July 27th, 3 days later, Barcelona will fly to England. Well, they will do part of the preseason at St. George's Park, which is where the English national team trains. Then on July 31st, they will play a friendly match against Birmingham City. And on August 3rd, they will fly back to Barcelona. So far, all these dates have been confirmed. Barcelona is still working, of course, on other possible friendlies. There's talks about Barcelona playing against Watford or Stoke City as a friendly match in England. There's also talks about maybe playing a friendly match against Liverpool in Kenya. There's an invite outstanding from Morocco for Barcelona to play a friendly match there. We'll see. And of course, Barcelona is still working on their opponent for the Joan Gamper Trophy, which is the final friendly match of the preseason. But so far, we know when it starts, the preseason, July 13th, July 24th, friendly against CE Europa. July 27th, they fly to England. July 31st, friendly against Birmingham City. And then back to Barcelona on August 3rd. And I got to say, I'm so excited for the preseason, because not only the preseason means that Barcelona football is almost back, right around the corner, right from the season, but also it means that, well, we get to see many of these youngsters like Ebrima Tunkara, Hamza Abdelkarim, etc. playing with the first-team players, and we get to see what they have to offer. Now, the La Liga have also released the schedule of matches for next season. If you want to check it out, it is on La Liga website. I decided not to discuss it because, what are we going to do? Go over every single date that Barcelona is going to play, and this video would last very, very long. All right, on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Atletico Madrid have officially filed a complaint with both FIFA and the Royal Spanish Football Federation in regards to Julian Alvarez, claiming that Barcelona have violated the rules by negotiating with Julian Alvarez while he still has a contract. Because as you know by now, if a player has a contract, you cannot negotiate directly with them without the permission of the club which that player belongs to. Unless that player is in their final 6 months of contract, then they can negotiate with whoever they want without obtaining the permission of the club they currently belong to. Now, these were the statements prior by the CEO, Miguel Angel Gilmarin, prior to the filing of this complaint. But this is what he had said about this whole ordeal. Our responsibility is to defend the interests of Atletico Madrid, and that is why we are going to file a complaint with FIFA against Barcelona for negotiating with a player who had a valid contract during the protected period. Barcelona is disrespecting us. Oh my God. They think they can walk all over us, that we're weak or stupid. I mean, you're definitely stupid, don't get me wrong. But what they're actually showing to the world is the way of acting that defines them. Yes, oh my God, Barcelona trying to sign players during the transfer market. How dare they? They're lying to us, to the player, to the media, and they're also lying to their own fans. They're trying to make everyone believe they can take on a deal they're actually not capable of handling. So yes, Barcelona, man, this evil club. They're trying to buy players during a transfer market. How dare they, man? They're freaking evil. They think we're stupid. We're going to sue them. But anyways, Atletico Madrid have filed a complaint against Barcelona with FIFA, which of course are not going to act because FIFA has no jurisdiction here. This is a transfer dispute between two Spanish clubs, but the ones who do have a jurisdiction is the Royal Spanish Football Federation, which Barcelona have also, which Atletico Madrid have also filed a complaint with. But it's reported that Barcelona are calm. They're not worried. They think that this is nothing more than a PR stunt, that this is just Atletico Madrid, trying to look tough in front of their fans. Like, oh, look at us defending the interests of the club. How dare someone come sign players from here. Wait, hold on a second. I'm going to go sign a few players from these other clubs. I'll be right back. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, how dare other clubs like Barca come and sign our players? I don't want to say anything bad. Anyways, now speaking of Julian Alvarez, it's reported that Atletico Madrid have made it very clear to Barcelona that they will only accept 150 million euros, even though in public statements they continue saying that Barcelona need to pay the full release clause, which is worth close to 500 million. But they have told Barcelona that they will only accept 150 million euros for Julian, and they want it cash and they want it paid all at once. In other words, they will not accept installments. They will not accept other players in the deal. Nothing like that. You either pay 150 altogether or no deal. Now, despite that, again, Barcelona not too worried. They're going to bid their time. They know that the more time passes, the better it is for them. So don't expect any, big news coming out pretty soon. Barcelona are preparing a second offer, but they're not going to be making it any soon. For several reasons. I mean, reason number one is that, of course, they don't want this whole thing distracting Julian during the World Cup or having Julian maybe earn the hate of Argentina fans because they're like, oh, is he actually focusing on the World Cup? He already said one time during the World Cup that he wanted to leave Atlético. They don't want more drama, more press attention to this. So Julian can focus on the World Cup. And of course, Argentinians are not like, wait, does this guy even focus on it? Like, he keeps talking about Barca. The second reason is because communication between both clubs have deteriorated a lot. For example, the only one that John Laporta talks to is Cerezo, who is the president, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the president, that's his position. But Cerezo now doesn't have that much power, even though he's the president, because now the club have this big investor, Apollo Group. Now, as far as Alemany, Deco and Alemany don't have a good relationship at all. Laporta will not talk to Alemany because he feels hurt because Alemany backed Xavi Hernandez. And as far as Julian Alvarez is Asian, he's kind of unwelcomed. He's a persona non grata at Atletico Madrid because they feel like it's his fault that this whole thing has got out of control. And of course, the third reason why Barcelona will not be, making a deal, an offer anytime soon, is because they know that more time passes, it's actually in their favor because, Atletico eventually will have to lower their asking price or at least relax their posture because they know they have a problem on their hand. They have a player who doesn't want to be there, who has told the whole world that doesn't want to be there. The coach, Simeone, doesn't want him there either. The fans don't want him there, and no one else will take him because Julian has said no to everyone else except Barca. So the ones who have the big problem is here Atletico Madrid and not Barcelona. So Barcelona are taking this super calm. They're going to bid their time, and then eventually they think this will be resolved. Now, Barcelona are not planning to abandon Julian Alvarez because he made those public statements. They feel like he has, gone out on the limb. He stuck his neck out. So Barcelona will not be abandoning the Argentine, and they will be going through this deal. Now, let's end today's video with the news that Barcelona have confirmed the departure of Ansu Fati. Of course, this is something that had been cooking for quite some time. Monaco had decided to activate the option to buy in his contract worth 11 million euros. The only thing outstanding was, of course, reaching an agreement with the player himself that included Ansu Fati reducing his salary by a lot because Monaco could not afford what Barcelona was paying him. Well, now all agreements have been reached. Ansu Fati has agreed to join Monaco for 4 seasons. He's agreed to his salary and everything else with them. Barcelona have also agreed on the percentage of any future sales. So all parties are on board, and this deal is done. It's official. Ansu Fati will go to Monaco for 4 seasons, and in exchange, Barcelona will receive 11 million euros, and they will maintain a percentage of any future sale, which means that if Ansu Fati, ends up rediscovering himself, ends up blowing up, and then some bigger club comes and buys him in the future, Barcelona will get a percentage of that chunk. Now, the good news is that this did happen before June 30th, the end of June 30th, so before July 1st, I should say. So this will count, these 11 million euros will count towards the current fiscal year, which closes tonight at midnight. Actually, already closed because it's already past midnight in Spain. So it will count towards Barcelona's financial fair play. The bad news, of course, is that we get to see Ansu Fati go, a player that, gave a lot of us lots of hope, because especially after Messi had left, we all thought that Ansu Fati could become his heir. He received the number 10 jersey. He was from La Masia. He looked incredibly promising. He debuted with the first team at a very young age, but unfortunately, injuries were not kind to him. It's absolutely sad what happened to him, but I really, really hope that he rediscovers himself, that he once again starts playing like he used to play and even better. And I wish him the best of luck. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go and watch the Mexico versus Ecuador match, which promises to be one hell of a match. I cannot wait to see what happens. Let me know, guys, what has been your favorite moment so far in these knockout stages. And then, of course, let me know what you think about all the news that I share with you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, be scarce.